Here one day, the next day gone, and not a word from an award-winning Brusly High School teacher and mother. Well, tonight, those who loved her open up about this nightmare. Even her elusive husband, for the first time, is talking about the search for Sylviane.
There was nobody in my life like her.
A mother who adored her child.
That's what she lived for.
A trusted friend.
Just a highlight of my day.
A teacher students admired.
And she was always just happy and excited to teach us.
My name is Sylviane Finck. I teach French 1, 2, and 3 at Brusly High School.
What happened to Sylviane Finck Lozada, missing now almost 1,000 days, remains a mystery that saddens, frustrates, and infuriates those who miss her.
I haven't wrapped my mind around it because it just seems impossible that somebody you see every day, someone that you talk to, for them just to disappear and there's no explanation. I need to go over this again.
Karen Woolley and Sylviane went way back. Both longtime teachers at Brusly.
The fourth 9 weeks for you.
Best friends who traveled together as single women and who stood next to each other when each married. Name a person you could depend on, her friends say, and Sylviane was that person. Not someone who had just vanished, not someone who would abandon her daughter. The night before she was last heard from, excitement filled the air for the 4th of July fireworks here on the Mississippi. Then on the 5th, she called her family in Belgium, as she did every single day. Only that call from her home off Bluebonnet Boulevard in Baton Rouge would be her last.
Not a word, nothing more from that day.
I spoke via Skype with her nephew and godson Anton Finck in Belgium.
You can't imagine how difficult is it to survive at this tragedy. Our life will never be the same.
This home video shows a beaming Sylviane with daughter Angelina, the absolute light of her life, friends say. Only 4 when her mom went missing. What do you do with the fact that she stopped being here one day and you don't know anything? Yeah, you were talking about what to do with that.
What does your brain do with missing?
While those left to wonder struggle to cope, Facebook pictures at least indicate that Sylviane's husband, Oscar Lozada, and their daughter Angelina have adjusted. On July 9th, 2011, 4 days after the last known word from her, Oscar took his daughter, flew to his native Venezuela, and as far as we know, has never returned. His Facebook page has pictures of Angelina, now 7, going fishing, winning a trophy for playing tennis. We see Oscar sharing laughs with friends.
If anybody disappeared, your dog, you're gonna look for them. Why would you just leave?
Authorities say foul play is possible based on items found inside the couple's home, including, according to court records, suspected blood in the garage. Oscar Lozada has never been named a suspect, but his behavior has always been questioned by police. For example, police want to know what he did with the cement mix and 5-gallon buckets he allegedly bought on July 6, 2011. Those items were never located, but police say receipts from Lowe's found in his Nissan Xterra showed the purchase. The SUV was left at Metro Airport. I contacted Oscar, and in a Facebook message to me, Oscar explained the items were being used in the remodel of their house, that a worker stole different materials being used, though he never specified the cement mix or buckets. East Baton Rouge Sheriff Sid Gautreaux has remained particularly quiet about this case, all but refusing to publicly talk about it. He again turned down our request to speak on camera for this report, instead issuing this statement, saying the release of any further information can impede any progress. It also reads, "Our top priority is solving this case. I understand that it is probably very frustrating for friends and family when they are looking for answers." His country's constitution prohibits the extradition of Venezuelan nationals. So, investigators have never been able to ask Oscar the many questions they'd like to ask him in person. As for his claims that Sylviane ran off with another man to Central America, there is no record of her passport or bank card ever being used. No trace of her since that July 5th. In another Facebook message to me, Oscar said he attempted to return 4 times with the help of the police department, but a problem with his daughter's passport has not allowed it. And what about little Angelina? Growing up without a mother she loved and all the questions, and with a father who says he won't leave her side. Linda Bowie wonders,
Is Angelina maybe in as good of a place as she could possibly be right now with this man who I think is a monster?
And it now comes as no surprise, friends say their marriage was in trouble.
There was fights where one or the both of them would end up at my house, or where the sheriff was called.
According to police records, deputies were called to their Spring Lake address December 3rd and December 31st of 2010. On that New Year's Eve, she wound up at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital with bruises. She said Oscar pushed her down the stairs, those records say. On Facebook, Oscar messaged me, "I never touched Sylviane in a violent way." Bowie says Sylviane never pressed charges, fearing Oscar would take their daughter and leave the country. She believes more than one person took part in Sylviane's disappearance.
I would hope that if somebody is out there that they would find a conscience and that they would come out and they would talk. And that's one of the reasons why I'm talking to you, is that it would prick somebody's conscience.
In the meantime, friends and loved ones keep her name out there on social media. In Belgium, they released balloons in her honor. Brusly High dedicated this garden in her memory. For all of them, the unknown is agonizing. It haunts them.
If anyone knows anything about what happened, we beg you to come forward.
Now, the last words message to me from Oscar Lozada just yesterday, he says he wants to return here, says Louisiana is my home, quote, not Venezuela.